And a good Thursday to you. It is the 17th day of March 2022. And a very good Saint Pat. I can't do it. Can't do an Irish brogue. Shouldn't have bothered to try. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm not wearing a green shirt because, well, we chroma key here. We have a virtual studio. It's green screen, this is what it's called. So if I wore green, I would disappear. So there's probably people out there who's wishing I'm wearing green right now. Lots to get to this morning. First of all, we have some breaking news out on North Wenatchee. In fact, you can see a little bit of the haze from the smoke of a fire at the CASA fiber packaging facility. We're going to get to that in just a second with our cameras around the valley. Fairly cloudy, 36 degrees, going to be cloudy today. We're in for a pretty quiet weather pattern, all things considered. Clouds, some passing showers, some snow in the upper elevations, a little bit here and there. Very typical late winter weather as we transition to spring. Of course, the spring equinox is at 8:33 on Sunday morning, and we welcome spring officially. We're in for some very nice, warm, sunny weather when we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, but we got to get there first. Details are coming up. News, sports. Russell Wilson officially had his press conference, made it official. He is going to be the new starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos. You probably heard about that. We'll have a little bit of that with sports. It is Thursday. Pause for pets. Callie the dog needs a home. We'll see if we can make that happen. She's been at dog jail for way too long. Callie the dog, we'll introduce you to her. And we teamed up with our friends at CASA and Sage. Both organizations do great work, and they're bringing back Color Rush. You remember Color Rush? It was a big fundraiser for the United Way of Chelan and Douglas Counties. Well, the United Way of Chelan and Douglas Counties has disbanded. It doesn't exist anymore, but CASA and Sage are going to team up, and they're going to put Color Rush back on again. And it's going to happen during the before the CASA Fiber Youth Parade coming up during Apple Blossom Festival. Heather Baker from CASA and Stacy Gold from Sage will be joining me in the back half of the program, 2 minutes after the hour. Let's go ahead and go to that Omi Gardens camera, live shot of the CASA Fiber packaging facility out there in North Wenatchee Avenue. This looks a lot better than it did about 2.5 hours ago when we started looking at this. This is a pretty sizable fire. From what we've been able to ascertain from the view, we have some calls in to Chelan County Fire District number 1 and the public information officers. We haven't heard back from them yet. Obviously, they're quite busy. It looks like some of the packaging material that they use to package fruit and vegetables and send them all over the country caught on fire. And for a while there, it was really getting going. We're going to show you some B-roll footage of what it looked like a couple of hours ago here in just a couple of minutes. But that's what's going on right now. Not affecting traffic on US 97A. It is flowing in both directions, but of course it's slowed down. A lot of looky-loos, a lot of fire trucks. This was a pretty good-sized fire, and they're still trying to douse out some of the hot spots. From what we've been able to tell, it looks like it's some of that packaging material that they store outside the CASA fiber packaging facility on the north end of town on 97A. We're going to show you footage from what was going on about an hour and a half ago here when we get to news in just a couple minutes. So we wanted to show you that. And again, we'll have more information as information becomes available to us. Camera number 2 is the cross camera, and you can see the haze from the smoke in the right-hand side of your screen. That is from that packaging facility fire, and it was a good one. It was really roaring. I don't know when it was toned out. About 3 o'clock in the morning is our best guess. So it's been burning for a good 3.5 hours anyway, perhaps even longer than that. That's the haze that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. That is smoke from that fire at the CASA packaging facility. Camera number 3. It is off to the Waterville camera, I believe, Uriah, as we look down at the Columbia River. Ncaa to your left, Earthquake Point to your right. Don't forget they'll be doing some slope stabilization work on the south side of Ncaa coming up next month in April. They're doing some slope stabilization work on the south shore of Lake Chelan as we speak. That comes, the US 97A project is not until April. And camera number 4 is back up to the very tip top of McNeil Canyon, one of Uriah's favorites. The Chelan Butte is on your left. We have a camera up there. Still some residual snow. The Chelan Butte is about 4,000 feet in elevation, so it's up there. It's quite high in elevation. You can see a little sliver of Lake Chelan and the Cascades in the background, and a little bit of the airport, I think, on the right, the airfield in Chelan. You can see that from the very top of McNeil Canyon. They've had a lot of snow dissipate over the last few weeks or so. Okay, let's get right to it. From the National Weather Service, here's your forecast. Clouds this morning. We have a weak weather system that's moving into the area. It's not really doing much. Just a little slight sprinkles, a little light snow in the mountains. It's not accumulating. We'll get up to about 50 degrees. For the record, we hit 55 yesterday, and I love telling you this news. Sunrise this morning, 7:09. Sunset tonight, 7:10. Yep, 12 hours and 1 minute of daylight. We are on the other side of that coin. 34 with lots of clouds on Friday, but we should be dry. Next system comes through Saturday, going to cool us down a little bit. We have a good chance of some rain, especially on Saturday morning. We'll get out to about 49 degrees. We catch a break Sunday with temperature about 50. All these temperatures that you see, the highs and the lows, right around normal, give or take a couple. One more little system comes in Sunday night into Monday. We start warming up, and then look at Tuesday. We're going to start seeing a little bit of sunshine by Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, lots of sunshine, and the warmest temperatures we have seen in quite some time. Mid-60s for our high on Wednesday, but we got to get there first. And for the meantime, as we transition from winter to spring over the weekend, it's pretty typical weather for this time of the year. Your past report is courtesy of D.A. Davidson, the strength of a trusted partner, personalized solutions to meet your financial needs. Member SIPC. There are no advisories or restrictions on any of the major mountain passes. You are bare and dry. On Stevens, I'm seeing lots of asphalt there. Blewett Pass, no advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is bare and dry. You are good to go. And I-90, looking fine. No advisories, no restrictions. The roadway, for the most part, is bare and dry. Little bit of snow on Stevens today, maybe an inch, that's it. No snow expected at all on Blewett or on I-90. An inch or so today, an inch or so tonight as that weak system comes through that I just referred to. And then nothing at all on Friday night. Saturday, another couple of inches of snow. Again, most of it relegated to Stevens Pass. It doesn't look like I-90 or Blewett's going to get any snow at all for the forecast period. And then they have no problems at all either. So all in all, they're not expecting just a little bit of snow here and there, and most of that will be on US 2. Stevens Pass, I-90, and Blewett should be high and dry for the forecast period. All right, 7 minutes after the hour, a break, and then your St. Patty's Day news is coming up on this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
My job is to educate my client, help them navigate a system that is difficult and complicated. It is my job to tell their story and to convince either a court, a judge, or 12 jurors of the appropriateness of our request. It's the great leveler. It's the only leveler, because the least powerful can gain the remedy they deserve that the law provides for them.
Hi, I'm Katie Joslin, and I'm a pediatrician at CVCH. We know that as new parents, you have a lot of decisions to make. At CVCH, we have a team of caring pediatricians and family medicine providers who love to take care of newborns. As you're making that decision of where you'd like to go, we hope that you'll consider coming to CVCH, where any of the providers you choose would care for your baby as if it was one of their own.
High clouds, 36 degrees. We'll see some clouds, but we should be dry for the most part for today and tomorrow. Some passing showers on Saturday, a little bit cooler. Sunshine Monday, a big warming trend coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Let's go ahead and show you that footage that we were able to get from our Omi Gardens PTZ camera. This was taken just about 5:15 or so this morning. This is the Kai's Fiber Packaging Plant on US 97A, just north of Wenatchee. From what we'll be able to tell from the camera angles that we were looking at, it looked like some of the packing materials that are stored outside the facility, the materials that the Kai's Fiber manufactures to ship apples and peaches and pears and what have you, that packaging material that they manufacture, looks like some of that caught on fire. Also damaged the nearby fence that surrounds the Kai's Fiber campus. Again, this footage is from around 5:30 or so this morning. We have calls out to the necessary agencies that have responded. We have not heard back from them yet. We will obviously have more on this as the day progresses, and the complete story on this fire at the Kai's Fiber facility. We will have that for you tonight with the news at 5 o'clock. And stay close to our Facebook page and our website, and we will give you more information as it becomes available. But traffic does seem to be flowing on the highway. Two efforts to ban fireworks in East Wenatchee failed On Tuesday, the City Council voted instead to grant the mayor the authority to impose a ban in times of extreme fire danger. By a 3-4 vote, the East Wenatchee City Council rejected a ban on fireworks sales for Independence Day, and also by a 3-4 vote on a year-round ban on fireworks, and also failed. East Wenatchee is one of the few cities in our area that allows the sale of fireworks on the 4th of July and on New Year's Eve. A Renton man accused of stealing about $25,000 from cash machines in the Wenatchee Valley has already begun repaying the losses. Attorneys say 21-year-old Fabio Ciccio hopes to strike a plea deal which would avoid trial on his one charge of first-degree theft and 9 counts of second-degree identity theft. Police believe Ciccio used duplicated debit cards and PIN numbers stolen with an ATM skimmer, which can secretly log a card owner's data. The ATM thefts were from Cashmere Valley Bank machines committed in February of 2019. Ciccio has been free since his arrest last July on a $50,000 bond. If no plea agreement is struck, he faces trial come June. Grand County law enforcement helped U.S. Marshals track down a wanted fugitive outside Quincy. This happened on Tuesday morning. The Grand County Sheriff's Office say they located 31-year-old Daniel Villa Gomez in a travel trailer at 2671 Road R Northwest near Quincy, but when they approached the trailer, Gomez took off on foot. Grant County Canine Hawk and his handler, Corporal De La Rosa, quickly found the man hiding under the porch of a home on the property. He surrendered. Gomez was wanted on a federal warrant for violating his probation. He now faces additional charges for attempting to elude capture. And a new Miss East Cascades will be crowned Saturday night at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. It's the annual scholarship pageant for women. It's affiliated with Miss Washington and Miss America pageants. It begins at 7 o'clock Saturday night, again at the PAC. Former Miss East Cascades, Melanie Garza, was a guest on my program, and she told me how the pageant changed her life.
Hello, my name is Melanie Garza. I was crowned Miss East Cascades in 2018. Since then, I have taken the scholarship money that I won with, graduated college, and started my career as a tax accountant at Moss Adams. And that is largely due to the fact that through this process, through competing in Miss East Cascades and eventually going on to Miss Washington, they helped me develop my interview skills, they helped me build my resume, they helped develop a lot of professional skills that I don't think a lot of people associate with competing in a pageant at all. They think, Miss Universe, bikini competition and beauty, but it's not all that. It's brains that this entire process, especially Miss East Cascades specifically, they put you through mock interviews. And I don't think even girls that go through high school and even college sometimes, unless you join some sort of academic club, you don't really get that opportunity to just be drilled by interview questions over and over again and get rid of those nervous tics and understand how to really articulate your thoughts. And they also go through resume. You get the chance to public speak. You understand how networking works, how important it is. And it's just an overall amazing experience to really set yourself forward in the professional sense and in the professional world.
Best of luck to the candidates Saturday night at the Numerica PAC. This was making headlines at 14 minutes after the hour. And again, stay close to our homepage and our Facebook page for the latest on the fire at the Kai's Fiber Packaging facility on the north end of town. We will have that as information becomes available. In the meantime, with a preview of some of the news we're working on, here's Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Mostly cloudy with normal high temperatures today before rain moves in late tomorrow night. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, March Madness begins this morning, and Eric Granstrom will have results and a look ahead to tonight's games. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Of course, I filled out my bracket, and I had Pepperdine winning the national championship, and then I went back and looked, and they're not even in the tournament. At the bottom of your screen are the ways you can get a hold of us. Facebook, use the Messenger app. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, or if you go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, right at the top of it, you'll see the Contact Us icon. It's pretty self-explanatory. When we come back, it's official. Russell Wilson's Welcome to Denver press conference was held yesterday. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Watch Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Find out about programs and activities for ages 50 and over, and meet amazing seniors who contribute to our community. New episodes Sundays at 1:30 p.m., replayed throughout the week on the NCW Life channel. Get your body moving. Tune in for Vibrant Motion, featuring low-impact aerobics hosted by Connie Townsend. These workouts are great for all ages. Vibrant Motion, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, weekdays on the NCW Life channel.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
Do you even remember to water the house plants? I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
"16 minutes after the hour of sports, Russell Wilson officially announced yesterday in Denver as the new quarterback of the Broncos. And boy, he looked the part too, didn't he? In the blue shirt and the orange tie. The 9-time Pro Bowler was quick to show some love for you Seahawk fans out there.
But obviously there's another city that has meant a lot to me, meant the world to me over the past 10 years of my life, and that's Seattle. You know, Seattle Seahawks have been everything to me. I was drafted on April 27th of 2012, and my dreams really started becoming true then. And there's really a few key people in that journey. First of all, obviously the late Paul Allen, who gave me the opportunity, who gave everybody there an opportunity to play the game. And he's done so much in the world. And obviously Jody too, and the two of them have meant the world to me over the past 10 years, my family, Sierra and I, so it's meant a lot. Obviously Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was a coach that always chewing his bubble gum, always believed in the fourth quarter comebacks with me. A guy that I always believed in too as well. And we've had amazing moments, amazing conversations, amazing days together, just so many amazing times. And so Pete obviously, he's a Hall of Fame coach in my opinion. And he's been an amazing person along the way with me. And then there's obviously John Schneider, who's the guy when I was playing at University of Wisconsin, the Big Ten. He was chopping it up in the bar with my brother after we won and beat Michigan State. And he was chopping up with my brother in the bar and talking about how he would one day maybe want me to be his quarterback.
Right after Russell Wilson's press conference ended, John Schneider and Pete Carroll had a press conference of their own. They say it's a good second chance for Russell Wilson and a good second chance for Drew Lock.
Drew Lock's a new quarterback coming into our program. Drew, we loved him in the draft. Our guys were thrilled about him coming up, going to take a shot. Maybe we could get a pick and get him. We didn't. He goes into his first year, finally plays his first 5 games, and he goes 4-1 in his first season, his rookie season. All the promise, all that you would hope to see, the numbers and stuff, show that he's going to have a great run in his career. And the next 2 years didn't work out very well. He battled his tail off and competed his tail off, but it hasn't worked out. Is this a second chance for Drew Lock? Heck yeah, it is. It's an absolute clear second chance for him to take us back to what we knew him to be, and we'll find out. You know how we're going to go about it. We're going to think the highest and the most highest level to perform and help our club that he could possibly generate. That's out there waiting for us. We can't wait to see it happen, and it excites the heck out of us. And in that. Russell was looking for a second shot. I mean, I think, as I look at it now, he was. Look, is there something else out there? And he's got his second shot too. He gets a second shot at the NFL. We wish him the freaking very best. He did awesome stuff for us here in Seattle. He was a great player for us. But now his second opportunity, look what he's going to do with it. He's going to fly. He's going to do great stuff. And then we support him and wish him well and all of that. And I think this whole thought about second chances is just so important to mention, because that may be the way our people from the outside look at it. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe it is, Johnny. Maybe it is a second shot. I'm not sure if that's what it is or not. But this is about second opportunities, and free agency kind of marks that deal. And
John Schneider was in Green Bay when the Packers traded their franchise quarterback, Brett Favre, to the Jets. So John Schneider, he knows what it's like when you trade an iconic player.
Again, I compared it to, with Brett Favre, right? I mean, you know how it's going to affect fans. So, Pete and myself and Jody and Bert, we're we were involved in a call and had discussions about it and what's it going to look like. But we were able to kind of prepare ourselves mentally much earlier than a lot of other people were. So it's going to affect the fans, right? So. And I remember going through it with Brett. So there was a little shock, right? And nobody knew who Aaron Rodgers was, and I shouldn't say that they didn't know who he was, but they didn't know how talented he was. So we relied on that faith and moved forward. And several years later, in 2011, I think they won the Super Bowl.
Pete Carroll was emphatic that trading Russell Wilson and releasing Bobby Wagner does not mean that the Seahawks are in a rebuilding mode.
There's a lot that's happened and a lot that's going on that excites the hell out of us. This is a great time for us. It's a great challenge for us. This is that challenging time of year, and yeah, we're faced with some challenges, but all we see is what's going to go the right way, what's going to happen for us. We look at this just like every other year. We're trying to build the championship freaking football team right now. There's no future we'll do it somewhere down the road. We don't think like that. We've never thought like that, and we're not going to think like that now. So in what I'm sharing with you, that's who we are. That's how we operate, and that's what you can count on from us. And our players coming in, and as we draw other players to this team, that's where we're going. And I hope that there's no misunderstanding at all.
One word for Coach Pete, decaf. Look into it. Anyway, we'll find out what happens. Of course, the draft is coming up next month. All right, the big dance. The first game of the NCAA tournament is at 9:15 this morning. To get your bracket filled out, if you haven't done so, the final two spots in the first four settled last night. Wright State beat Bryant. I don't know what Bryant's first name is, 93-82. Notre Dame took double overtime, but they beat Rutgers 89-87. Gonzaga will take on Georgia State today at 1:15. First round of the NCAA men's tournament. It's in the Rose City. That game will be broadcast on TNT. Games will also be aired on TNT. I have that. CBS, I have that. TBS, I have that. And True TV, which I don't have. The NCAA women's tournament begins Friday. It'll be broadcast on the ESPN group of channels. The Gonzaga women will take on Nebraska in the first round Friday at 12:30 on ESPN News. Haley Van Lith and her Louisville Cardinals will play on ESPN2 against Albany. First round, 3 o'clock on Friday. And the Washington State Cougar ladies, their first round game will be bright and early Saturday morning, 8:30 against Kansas State on ESPN2. The Seattle Kraken, band back to the drawing board. They lost to Tampa Bay last night, and it wasn't pretty. 4-1 was the final. They got out to an early lead. Yanni Gourde's 14th goal of the season, just 2 minutes and 38 seconds into the game. The Lightning tied it less than 4 minutes later. It remained tied until midway through the second. Tampa Bay added 2 more goals in the third for the final margin. Seattle back on the ice Saturday. They host the Red Wings, 7 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. And the Wenatchee Wild begin the first of 3 games back-to-back tonight. At the Town Toyota Center, the Trail Smoke Eaters are in town for the first of 3 games tonight at 6 o'clock, tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And then Saturday at 6 o'clock, get your tickets at WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Go Wild. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this St. Paddy's Day. It's not the obscure holiday. It's St. Paddy's Day. Let's do it. I got some very interesting facts about St. Patrick's Day. The increase in beer sales on St. Patrick's Day compared to the rest of the year, 174% increase in beer sales. St. Patrick's Day is 3rd on the list of the most popular drinking days. Number 1 is New Year's Eve. Number 2 is Super Bowl Sunday. And number 3 is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is the number 1 popular drinking day for beer. Yeah. In fact, if you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day tonight, the average person will spend about $42 celebrating St. Patrick's Day. How many Americans claim Irish ancestry? About 31.5 million, which is 6.5 times the population of Ireland itself. Shipments of cabbage increased 25% the week of St. Patrick's Day. What state has the highest percentage of residents per capita with Irish ancestry? You wouldn't believe it. It's New Hampshire. New Hampshire, 20% of the residents of New Hampshire have Irish blood in them. And this I found really fascinating. Naperville, Illinois has the highest percentage of Irish population. Naperville, Illinois. You know who's second? Spokane. I did not know that, but I looked it up, and it was on the internet, so it's got to be true. And a good St. Patty's Day to you all. I can't do that. I should stop doing that. 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Well, we're 1-0. March 17, 1776, 246 years ago today, the siege of Boston came to an end. George Washington and Henry Knox put artillery in all the high hills overlooking Boston. And the British looked around and said, hey, this isn't good. And they got out of Boston. And we captured Boston. It was the first significant victory in the opening phase of the Revolutionary War. So good for us. Let's roll the footage of this here, Raya. We're going to show you the fight that happened on March 13th, 1955 in Boston. Maurice Richard, the star of the Montreal Canadiens, gets into a really, really bad fight. He ends up knocking the guy out. In fact, they wanted to arrest him. So what happened? Well, the president of the NHL, Clarence Campbell, suspended Rocket Richard for the rest of the season, including the playoffs. Well, this did not go over very well in Montreal, where they take their hockey very seriously. They protested. They said it was too severe. Well, the rest of the NHL thought it wasn't severe enough, but wouldn't you know it, the next time that Montreal played, Clarence Campbell went to the game. There he is at the Montreal Forum on St. Patrick's Day, 1955, the first game after he suspended Rocket Richard for the rest of the season. Detroit, by the way, won the game rather easily, but that wasn't the story. The story was, there's the guy who suspended our hero, and we're going to go after him. And they did. A riot broke out. They were yelling at him. They were screaming at him. They threw stuff at him. This is the president of the NHL, the commissioner. Riots broke out in Montreal. Smoke bombs were sent off. They finally said, Clarence, you got to get out of here, buddy. Somebody's going to get hurt. The game was suspended. He and his girlfriend, eventually wife, got out of there. The riot in Montreal, all over a hockey suspension, caused $100,000 in property damage, 37 injuries, and 100 people were arrested. It finally all came to an end when Maurice Rocket Richard of the Canadiens went on national radio and said, please stop vandalizing the city. The famous hockey riot on this date in 1955. And finally, March 17th, 1992, 30 years ago today, historic. Only whites were allowed to vote, but the whites voted on a referendum to end apartheid in South Africa, and it passed 69% to 31%, and that gave F.W. de Klerk the chance to negotiate, and the beginning of the end of apartheid began on this date 30 years ago today. Birthdays. The only golfer to win the Grand Slam in a calendar year, Bobby Jones, born in the state in 1902, died in 1971 at the age of 69. He was also, of course, the founder, alongside Clifford Roberts of the Augusta National Golf Club. Bobby Jones, who never turned professional, always was an amateur, born in the state in 1902. The great Nat King Cole. I listened to some Nat Cole last night. Glad I did. The singer, the pianist, television host, born in the state in 1919, died of cancer in 1965 at the age of 45. Paul Cantor, the leader and one of the leaders and the founders of the Jefferson Airplane, later the Jefferson Starship, and then the Starship. He was born in the state in 1941. We lost Paul a couple of years ago at the age of 74. Speaking of rockers, John Sebastian in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He is 78 years old today. And Rob Lowe is 58 years old today. Somebody should probably tell him. 29 minutes after the hour. Still to come, my conversation with Heather Baker from CASA and Stacy Gold from Sage. You're going to like this conversation. It's good. Color Rush is coming back. I'm pretty excited about it. Plus an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. But first, Callie the dog needs a home. A Spas for Pets on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm the shelter manager here at Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and I am here with Callie. She is one of our BMOD dogs. She is 8 years old. She's been with us now for about 6 months. She recently became available for adoption because she's been working on our behavior team. She's been working on overcoming some dog reactivity that she struggles with. She's made a lot of progress. She's now learned how to focus her eye contact on us and redirect from paying attention to the other dogs passing by. So she's made a lot of progress, and we feel confident that she's ready to go home now. So she's our pet of the week because she's such a great dog. She's so friendly. She loves all people that she meets. She loves to play, but she kind of likes to play for about 5 minutes, and then she wants to chill on the couch with you for the rest of the day. So she's not going to be your hiking dog or your park buddy, but if you want somebody to snuggle up on the couch with, Callie's your girl. She is not going to be able to live with any other animals. That's just not her thing. She wants to be the center of attention, which is perfectly fine because she's the sweetest girl and she's going to make somebody so happy. But yeah, so she is one who's going to continue to have some reactivity towards other animals when she sees them. So she needs to go to a home where somebody is willing to work with her on that and keep up the progress we've been making here with her. But other than that, she is just the perfect girl. She loves people so much. She's very well trained as far as sit and come. She wants to be with you all the time. What are you doing? She's got a big personality. She's just adored by everyone here.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and closed 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. for quiet hour. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Not all. Les Schwab Tires is too. Because Les Schwab fixes brakes, steering, and more. See those guys? They just do tires. Eyes ahead, Dad! Look, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Blinker, I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first. Watch, they're gonna come greet me.
Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in North Central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think is there something the matter with him?
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious? No, he's not. He's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, in my line of work, I deal with a number of folks with substance abuse issues. Some of them do well for a while, and some of them not so well, and all of them struggle. And I'm always recommending to those folks to get involved in meetings, get involved in a 12-step program, get a sponsor, and get connected with the local Make Recovery the Epidemic group. Now, unfortunately, most of these folks tell me, well, that doesn't work for me. And then I ask them, well, is what you're doing does? Sure, there are a lot of folks, very few I'd imagine, who can kick substance abuse on their own. But the best chance for reaching and maintaining recovery is involvement with others in the 12-step program. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
Clearwater Saloon and Casino is the perfect place to meet in East Wenatchee. The Old West theme takes you back in time with casino gambling and poker tables. And now you can play the best games on or off the tables. Stop by and check out the new game room. All your favorite games and extended late night hours makes the Clearwater your best bet for a great time. And if time slips away having so much fun, stay the night next door at the Cedars Inn. It's all here nightly at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino in East Wenatchee.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Spring is more than just a time to clean. It's your time to renew, recharge, and spend time with the people you love. At Merry Maids, our cleaning services go beyond the basic services and provide you with a comprehensive clean that will re-energize your home and enhance your life. From everyday routine cleaning or deep cleanings, Merry Maids professional team members can provide you with an unrivaled experience. Call Merry Maids to schedule your cleaning today.
There are 3 key ingredients to a perfect BLT: hot lettuce, mustard, but what's most important, baseboard bacon. Now, these baseboards get piping hot. It gets those bacon strips crackling.
Mr. No One Ever, did you know that you can actually get $1,000 cash back by converting your baseboard heater into a ductless heat pump? Save money on heating for years to come. And with all that extra money...
More bacon?
More bacon.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're here at the headquarters of CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocates. They do great work. They haven't been on the show in a long time, for those of you unfamiliar with what CASA does. Basically, if kids end up through domestic issues, they end up getting caught up in the maelstrom of all kinds of issues. And the folks at CASA are the ones who step in and basically acts as guardian ad litems, basically for the kids, so the kids are represented in court. They do great work. It's been a great organization, been around for 20 years or so. And we're here to talk about CASA and SAGE, and Hank is back again. Hank's on camera all the time now, it seems. Introduce yourselves to our television family. I'll let you go first.
I'm Heather Baker with CASA. I'm the Communications and Development Coordinator here.
I'm Stacy Gold, and I work with SAGE under the Child and Family Advocacy Center, and I manage the Child and Family Advocacy Center.
So do you guys, obviously, when I think of CASA and kids who need help, and kids who need help. Do you guys, you overlap? Do you work together in many ways?
We do. We meet once a month, and we meet with CASA and prosecution and CPS, and we all work together and try to provide the best whole health care for the kids that we're working with.
Why do you do this? I mean, it can't be pleasant work. My guess is it's quite difficult work at times. What do you do it? Because somebody has to, or are you good at it?
I hope I'm okay at it, but I like being there for the kids, as in, we don't know the outcomes. We never know what's going to happen in court. We don't know what's going to happen in their home life, but we can be there for them and connect with them and have a safe place for them to come if they need it. And that's what I like.
Same question with you and CASA. It's just a good fit, something that...
I mean, it's kind of been a part of my whole life. So Sue Baker is my mom who started the program almost, it's going to be 28 years this year. So it's kind of been something I've been involved with my whole life. So it was just a good fit for me.
And CASA and SAGE are teaming up together to bring back something that the United Way of Chelan and Douglas Counties did for a number of years back in the day when the United Way of Chelan and Douglas Counties was a thriving organization and unfortunately no longer exists. Big fundraiser, it was called Color Rush. And you go through these color zones and people throw this powder at you, and it's a lot of fun. It went by the wayside when the United Way went by the wayside. Color Rush is coming back, and you two folks are getting together and making it happen. So talk about the genesis of bringing back Color Rush as a fundraiser for your organizations. I'll let both of you take that.
So SAGE has actually been doing kind of a fun run for how many years now?
2 years before COVID.
Yeah, so I think Stacy looked at bringing the Color Rush back, but didn't want to do it on her own, so approached CASA, and we were all in.
And so it's coming back.
It is coming back, and it's a great time to come back. We've all been stuffed in our homes the last 2 years, and things are getting better, and hopefully we can all run and be together again. And I think it's going to be a great thing to do again, since we've been stuck at home for 2 years.
And when that seed was planted, the first person you called was Alan Walker.
I did call Alan Walker.
Of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, because Alan, of course, was the executive director of the United Way, and he knows about Color Rush. And you called Alan, and what did Alan tell you?
We had a meeting, and he told me all the secrets to plan a Color Rush, and he offered to let me call or text him anytime I needed anything, and he's really helped me out because I didn't know where to start. So
logistically, it is a big production. I know. I was involved in Color Rush. Did that scare you at all, or did it make you even more determined to pull this off?
It didn't scare me. It's a little overwhelming, but I worked as a person who planned events for 5 years. So, and big events, not this big. So, and then when CASA got on board, I felt really good about it because we had a great team.
I haven't talked to CASA in a couple of years. How did COVID affect your organization? I know it affected SAGE a lot, as Jessica mentioned just a couple of days ago. How did you guys get through COVID at CASA?
It hasn't been too bad. I mean, we haven't seen a big number of cases come through CASA like we had before. But as far as volunteers, we've just finished a new class of 8 this last week. So they'll be sworn in next week as new CASAs. So I think right now we're serving 145 children and we have 78 volunteers. So we're doing pretty good, but we have seen a slowdown of kids coming into.
See, I hear the number 145, and I think that's a lot. And for you guys,
Yeah.
It maybe isn't so much a lot?
Not for us. I mean, typically before COVID, we were serving around 220 kids. So yeah, it's gone down quite a bit.
220 kids, now 140 and some change, who need CASA's services. Yes. That still seems like a ridiculously high number.
Yes, and but we do serve all of those children with CASA volunteers, so that's a big goal for us to be able to serve 100% of kids that come through CASAs.
And for the uninitiated, just real quickly, CASA 101, for those folks who don't remember, with Sue and Carol helping launch the organization. Give folks just a quick little thumbnail sketch of what CASA actually does.
So CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. So they're community volunteers who go through training and then they're sworn in by the court, and they represent the best interest of kids who are involved in dependency cases. So the kids that have been removed from their home due to abuse or neglect.
Do you have good days in this job?
We try to find some good days here, yeah. Like doing these type of events, and then we do other things throughout the year, like our stocking project. So those are kind of highlights for us to do fun things like that.
So there are good days.
Yes,
Because we talked about this before we started rolling cameras. What you two ladies do, and you do it well, can be emotionally draining, I'm assuming. Do you have a a wall that you can put up and not get too involved in the individual cases that you two have to deal with? Because these are not happy stories.
I think boundaries is what you have to focus on, and making sure that you do something to release that stress, whether it be going for a walk or going to the gym, or I like to do karate. So it just depends. But if you don't take care of yourself, it's going to drain you more.
And of course, you worked with Sage. We talked with Jessica Johnson just a couple of days ago. Their big fundraiser's coming up. Don't forget, get your tickets. Your role within the general umbrella of Sage is kind of an offshoot, right? Tell folks exactly what it is that you do.
So with the Child and Advocacy Center, I'll kind of just go through like a scenario. So let's say a child is being abused and it gets reported, and then it goes to an officer, law enforcement. Then law enforcement would then reach out to Sage and schedule a forensic interview. I'm also a forensic interviewer, so that is a big part of my job. So then the kiddo comes in, and then a forensic interview is a science-based way to ask questions with open-ended questions to get the most information and most accurate information. So then the kiddo comes into a child-friendly atmosphere instead of before there were places such as ourselves. Little kids would have to go to the police station, and cops or law enforcement were there, and I love law enforcement, but to a little kid that could be really scary. So then they came up with this, other system. So the kiddos come to Sage, and it's covered in fish on the walls, and it's child friendly. And we know that these parents coming in here or caregivers is probably a bad day for them. So we try to have that environment where they have a quiet room to be. We answer any questions. Then we take the kiddo back. We do the interview. If the interview has enough information to arrest the suspect or move forward, then it would then go to court. And then during that whole court process, we have advocacy and we have therapists at our work, so we can help the kiddos through the court process. And then after we get them out of the crisis mode, the advocates can then refer them on to our therapist, who are trauma-informed therapists, so they deal with the trauma. And we also can go to court with the kiddos. Sometimes these kiddos, these amazing little brave kiddos, have to go to court and sit there and testify against this person who did these things to them. And that is really hard, re-traumatizing them. And we get to be there through that process, and Hank can actually be in the court with this kiddo. So we're
with the judge's approval,
Yes.
of course, and most judges say that's fine. Hank can be in the well or whatever.
I think that they have an RCW now that they.
Okay, so that's good. That's good, because I know it was up to the discretion of the judge.
I think that
controls
changed, but but so far our judges have all been great about Hank. So that's kind of a little rundown on what we do.
Who are the frontline troops in your organizations? I mean, teachers who, I don't think something's wrong in the Johnson household. I got to maybe step in a little bit. Doctors at the emergency room. Billy says he fell off the swing, but I don't think so. Who are some of the frontline troops that point out that there might be an issue here, and CASA and Sage and law enforcement needs to step in?
Well, I'm going to go off of an answer that I'm just think logically since COVID. I'm going to think teachers, because once schools went away, we had no one checking in on these kids, and all of our calls we just dropped, because our calls come from CPS, right? So when you took those kids out of line of sight from people who care, it really did affect. So we had these kids at home for who knows how long, and nobody was knowing what was going on in those homes.
It's like the mandated reporters, which are teachers and doctors, like you had mentioned, weren't seeing these kids, so the reporting for that has gone down, which is why we saw a drop in our numbers.
And now things are back up again.
Starting to slowly.
Right. I would be remiss if I didn't mention drugs. I'm assuming opioids are playing a significant role. Mom and dad are popping the pills and hitting the bottle and ignoring the kid or whatever, beating the kid. This is an issue?
Yes.
I take it?
Yeah, I think we've seen with the last few cases that we've gotten, there have been drugs involved. And we are seeing a lot of infants come into care because of that. So.
It's amazing the work that you do, and you still do it. You plug away at it. It's just this happier stuff. Color Rush. Let's talk about Color Rush. It's back. It's going to be on the morning of the Kai's Fiber Youth Parade. In fact, you've kind of tied it in to the whole Apple Blossom Festival. So give me Color Rush 101. What people need to know. Get signed up. Get your teams. All that good stuff. And both of you handle this. Go ahead.
So it's on April 30th at 9 a.m. and
we're starting in front of Morris Park. And we're going to be doing the same route as the kitty parade, but the actual word for the kitty parade is
The Kai's Fiber Youth Parade.
Kai's Fiber Youth Parade, yes.
Darcy would kill me if I didn't
yes,
get the sponsor
exactly.
in there.
That's right. So we'll be doing that same route, but we're planning on ending on 7th Street instead of 5th Street.
You need that extra couple of blocks?
Yeah, just to make it the 5K. And it is $20 for youth. 5 and under is free, and adults are $35. And if that's right.
Involved in Color Rush all these years, a lot of office teams would get together. They would all, wear the same shirt and that kind of stuff and go as a team. That's always encouraged, right? That kind of deal.
Yes.
Do you have a goal, a fundraising goal, or are you just hoping to pull this off without anybody getting hurt?
We're just hoping to pull it off.
for our first year, yes.
Yeah, we just hope people show up and get excited, and we'll, I like to talk about what we have done in the past with the money that we've earned.
Please do.
So with the Child and Family Advocacy Center, we are, donors and grants is how we do what we do. And sometimes kids have different needs when they come in, and so we like to make sure we can provide them with all types of activities to do while they're there, such as art or different types of games. And then we also have these things that grants don't cover, and it's kind of hard to explain, but I've had people come in and they're like, oh my goodness, I want to go to prom, but I can't afford a dress, and they have all these things going on at home and the court, and so we went out and got them what they needed, or homecoming tickets, and kids come in and you have these relationships with them and they're just talking to you, and then when we see something we can maybe do to help, that's what we did. And we bought bikes for a family that didn't have bikes, so sometimes grants don't cover those types of things, so that's what we've done with the money in the past. We just give it all back to our families that come into Sage.
And does that give you a tangible sense of I did something good? I mean, because how do you know that you've made an effect when the kids are through the system and whatever it was, but mom and dad lose custody, whatever the case may be, or dad gets his act together and gets the kid back, all that stuff. How do you know you've made an impact?
I know it's just material things, but I think that knowing that someone cares about them, it's not that you give them something. I know that Sage got to be a part of giving a kiddo a Christmas present once. And I didn't know this person very well. She hadn't been coming for a long time, and she just started crying. She goes, I didn't expect anything. I didn't expect a present at all. And it wasn't a present that it wasn't anything big, But it's knowing that someone cared enough to get something for her. Yeah, I do feel like it makes a difference.
How do you know you've had a good? Give me a good day in your world. Give me a.
For us, we're always our CASAs are always trying to achieve permanency for our kids, which means either adoption or returning home to their parents once they're able to parent them in a safe way. So when we see that happen, it's really good for us. And then also, like Stacy's talking about material things, we do have. Because we have such a great giving community here, we've been able to provide funds and buy things like that and do sports stuff. So for us, it's being able to provide those things because these kids don't have normal childhoods. So when we can provide something normal like that other kids are able to do, we really love doing that stuff.
It seems odd, but your goal is to have a kid have a normal childhood because an unnormal childhood affects you for the rest of your life. You're always carrying that baggage with you, and you got to figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah, these kids have been through a lot of trauma, so when we can do something good like that for them, it's helps us get through the day.
I can tell you both like your jobs because I admire people who do the work that you do. Color Rush is back after a brief hiatus with a new beneficiary. Again, it's going to be the morning of the Kai's Fiber Youth Parade. Get signed up. Websites, how do they do? We sell all that stuff. How do people sign up?
You can sign up on Apple Blossom website.
Oh, okay. That makes it easy. That's a nice little conduit for that.
Yeah, thank you, Darcy.
Yeah, way to go. And do you need any volunteers to help pull this thing off? Because this is a lot of work. Do you need warm bodies on the 30th?
We would love
before that?
volunteers. Please contact Sage or CASA. And we would still love any type of donation that people would like to give. We are looking for donors still.
Okay. We're still looking for sponsorships, so if anyone out there wants to sponsor, they can contact me at CASA.
And a quick little reminder, the one thing that I remembered most about doing Color Rush is it's a lot of fun. It's a good time, too. It really is. It's a really good time.
Yeah, it's for everyone, families, kids.
I get this question a lot. I don't like to run. Awesome. We don't have to run. You can walk.
If anybody sees me running, that means somebody's chasing me. That's what it means. Keep up the good work. If you need some extra love on Color Rush, let me know. All right. And if you need more sponsors, whatever, you know where to find me. So I'm not too far away. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day and visiting with us. We appreciate it. Good to see you, Hank. Oh, Hank's sleeping. Maybe that's what Hank does best. You're watching Wake Up on Ncaa Valley. We'll be right back.
What's the best way to attract a wide variety of beautiful birds to your backyard? By offering the birds the right foods in expertly designed bird feeders from Wild Birds Unlimited. Whether you've been feeding the birds for a while or are just getting started, let our backyard bird feeding specialists show you how to add a little joy to your life and make nature a part of every day. Shop now for exclusive bird foods, feeders, hardware, and more. Wild Birds Unlimited. Products designed by experts. Trusted local advice.
There are so many possibilities for you to learn local right here at Wenatchee Valley College. Take classes towards a degree or certificate in more than 50 areas of study. Wenatchee Valley College now offers a large variety of virtual classes, including labs, sign language, music, and machining, and they have the resources to help you succeed in virtual classes. So when a college degree is your goal, learn local at Wenatchee Valley College.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino is the perfect place to meet in East Wenatchee. The Old West theme takes you back in time with casino gambling and poker table. And now you can play the best games on or off the tables. Stop by and check out the new game room. All your favorite games and extended late night hours makes the Clearwater your best bet for a great time. And if time slips away having so much fun, stay the night next door at the Cedars Inn. It's all here nightly at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino in East Wenatchee.
All right, about 3 minutes left to go in this program. Let's take you back out to the north end of town off US 97A. That is a live shot as they continue to douse the fire at Kai's Fiber. Firefighters from Chelan and Douglas counties responding to this pallet fire at Kai's Fiber early this morning. Flames shooting high into the sky for quite some time. Chelan County Fire District Number 1 Chief Brian Burnett said it is the third fire that the company has had since 2018.
Our crews were dispatched about 3:19 a.m. this morning to pallets on fire by the substation remote from the building at Kai's Fiber. We have a history of having some large lost fires in this pallet yard over the past several years. Crews arrived to find it near the substation remote from the building. We're able to confine and contain the fire, protect the substation, and prevent it from spreading. Currently, there's an excavator en route from Public Works, and our fire investigators have been dispatched to determine the origin and cause at this point.
Traffic, by the way, is flowing in the general area of that fire, and we will have more on the pallet fire at Kai's Fiber at the news tonight at 5, 6, and 10. Without any further ado, your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Not a lot to talk about, pretty quiet. It's fairly sunny right now. It's not going to last particularly long. We're going to have clouds increasing as the day progresses. Weak weather systems moving in, not really packing much of a punch. We'll get up to about 50. That's normal for this time of the year. 36 for the overnight low tonight. Again, with cloudy skies. Cloudy again on Friday. Should be dry most of the day. A little bit warmer. High of about 54, 39 for the overnight low on Friday. Saturday, the last day of winter. We're going to see clouds. We're going to see rain. Pretty good chance of rain. Come Saturday. The snow level is going to get pretty low, but we're not going to get any of that stuff. We'll get up to about 49. The spring equinox, Sunday morning, for those people who keep exact time. The spring equinox is Sunday morning at 8:33. And from that point forward, we're into spring. And we'll have a high of about 50 with lots of sunshine on Sunday, the first full day of spring. Monday, back to the clouds, but warmer and a high of 54. 62 on Tuesday. This is nice. There's going to be a ridge building over the north central Washington area. In fact, all over the Pacific Northwest, a big ridge of high pressure is going to start building up. It's going to build up right over our area. It's going to send the jet stream up into British Columbia, and that means no storms, no rain, no wind, just beautiful weather once we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. And that is it for us. Have a good St. Patty's Day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.